Ni Wamuchoba, MP for Kitu constituency.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the ratification and approval of the East African Community multilateral agreement on aircraft accident and incidents investigations. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2000, we woke up to the news of an aircraft accident in Abidjan. We lost over 431 citizens of the world. Mr. Speaker, I happen to have had a relative who was in that flight. And I can tell you the pain and anguish that most people went through trying to recover information concerning relatives and loved ones that were in that flight, and many other flights, Mr. Speaker. It is something that I would never want to narrate. First of all, the language barrier between the countries, the distance barrier, the logistical barrier, the attitude barrier, the expectations, and many other procedures that are hidden to normal local Kenyan when such incidences happen. You are told you cannot call this office. You have to go through ambassadorial lines, and those ambassadorial lines have to be queued and have to be queued at different times, noting that some of these countries, we do not even share the same time zones. It is something, this is a long-awaited agreement that we needed to have. Mr. Speaker, there was a time that we lost members of parliament together in an aircraft accident in Marsabit. I think it was in the year 2014, if I'm not wrong, or thereabout. We lost the late Honorable Mirugi Kariuki and many other colleagues. I remember then when we struggled because I was on radio, I was a broadcaster. I remember how we struggled to get even information on what happened because it was in the mountains of Marsabit. Mr. Speaker, I'm very excited because we cannot assume that the fact that we are East African community, we share all those aspects that I had mentioned. Time differences, language differences, distances. And we cannot assume that the protocol used in Kenya is the same protocol used in any other country. For example, the DRC, which is the newest kid in the block of the East African community. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, ratifying the EAC multilateral agreement, it's something that we really needed as a country, and it is very welcome. However, what is in this EAC multilateral agreement? What is in its content? Do we sign papers, but when it comes to the implementation, there are aspects of that agreement that are not implementable? For example, Mr. Speaker, that accident that happened in Abidjan, me as a relative, I was not able to go to Abidjan because I could not afford the flight charges that I needed to take care of to go and get to know about a relative who suffered an accident in Abidjan. Who is supposed to be taking care of my costs if I am a relative to somebody who is in the accident? Who is supposed to be taking care of my visa charges and those procedures, logisticals that need to be done? So other than just saying we are signing an EAC multilateral agreement, we need to investigate more what protocols and how much of those protocols can be implementable and we can afford to meet to the point of the ink. Mr. Speaker, in the past, we have had countries that are big brothers to others. We have had countries that bully others not because of what they have, but because what they imagine they are. And even had accident, forget about the aircraft accident associated, but even the normal road accidents, where you have an accident in the neighboring country and you cannot access to the accident sites because of the protocols of that country. For example, Mr. Speaker, just the other day I had an incident where one of my voters, who is a trader, his goods got burnt along the road of a link road between Kenya and our neighboring country. And I needed to go and help because this is my voter and his truck has burnt up. I tried accessing the accident scene in the neighboring country. I was told I have to speak to mkuu wa kijiji, mkuu wa mkoa, because I'm a member of parliament and I'm going as a family. I'm not going as a member of parliament. I'm going as a relative, a friend. I want to go and rescue a friend, and I'm told, because you're a member of parliament, you have to go through mkuu wa mkoa. And trying to put sense into these characters is very difficult. So I think these ratifications are very viable. They're very good. But we also need to ask, how implementable are they? Otherwise, I support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Dr. Naomi Wako, MP for Marsabit County.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to add my voice to this very important report.
Honorable Dr. Naomi Wako, I'm informed we